welcome back to another episode of my vlogging diary of seamen sa sailing. Se seems sail seamen. Welcome back to Captain Dan's Diaries. I'm obviously Dan, and I'm nowhere near being a captain yet, but we are certainly trying. It's been a quick minute since the last update, but I definitely owe some time, so I have it. Might as well get to it. Free beer. Free beer is always good. So cheers to you, and let's get started. The only reason I say this is free beer. Oh, what the fuck is this? I'm not a big fan of Ballast Point. Sorry, they don't sponsor me, nor should they. This is terrible. Anyway, it was free. I found a case of beer behind one of our benches at work the other day, and someone definitely just had left it. So, thanks, thanks, whoever gave this to me. Pick. It's got a cool fish on it, but yeah, this one sucks. Grapefruit sculpin. Well, that's why. Ugh. I'll still drink it. Anyway, lots to discuss. We've been talking about getting up and through and to ASA 104. And that for me was the last weekend. If you hear a lot of sanding in the background, I apologize, as we are obviously in a boat in a marina where people work on their stuff. Um, Today we are on a Catalina 320. It is a early 2000 vessel. So obviously, with it being 320, it's 32 feet. Her name is Phoenix. She's actually pretty nice for a charter boat. um, More so than like our Catalina 30 fleet from the 80s. But God, I love those Catalina 30s. They're just like they're like a boat of my heart just because of how old they are and how much they still like do. They're seaworthy. They do the job. But these 320s are definitely a lot nicer. I think the last time I spoke about taking out one of our other 320s, which is Kokomo, but this one is Phoenix. We're staying on her tonight. Um, so that we don't have to try to drive a bunch of miles to get home, to get to real home. But any boat with a nice cabin is home enough for me. So anyway, we did our ASA 104 course this last weekend. It is a 3-day, 2-night course that we offer, and it teaches you about night sailing. It teaches you about anchoring. It teaches you about, kind of working through some of the familiarities or working through some of the unfamiliarities of a new marina. It works through some additional um, sailing tactics and mechanics. We do it on a larger boat, which allows us to allow our members to be fleet rated for our 40 plus boat fleet. So now I am this the ASA 104 class was offered on. We did it on a Bavaria 42. That was it's a 2006 Bavaria 42. So a lot bigger, a lot more spacious. Bavaria is actually the um, boat that is on my, like, if I was going to buy a monohull tomorrow and had the money to do it, I think Bavaria would be the my one of my top picks as far as a sailing vessel is concerned. So it was nice to kind of be on one for the first time and be able to be at the helm and steer her and learn about what Bavaria has to offer. And it definitely reinforced my reasoning as to why I like Bavaria. The 2006 is a little bit different than the current models that are out there. I personally like the sleekness of the newer models, but still the boat's feature functionality is about the same. So it was really awesome. Um, Also challenging. So I did it with an instructor that I'm relatively familiar with. He obviously has come in and out of the office, and he teaches a lot of courses with us, and so he's familiar with me too. And I helped him out a fair amount through this course. The other two individuals that were on this 104 were a couple, and unfortunately were a little underprepared, I guess would be the way I'd say it. They openly said that they didn't read the book the first day, which made for some things that are challenging when you're trying to cover content that's in the textbook and then um, want to see it in practical sense. So we had to do a little bit of a crash course on ASA 101, 103 terminology, the parts of a sale, those kind of things that to help these other two people get kind of caught up, I guess would be the way I'd say it. But still, overall, it was like it went fine. We all passed. Um, I only missed two on my written exam, which I'm a little pissed about because I should have probably not missed any. Um, I did a little math wrong on one of my charting exercises, and then I definitely just brain farted on one of the questions on what I thought the answer was, and I should have at least got one of those two, but it's okay. You can miss. It's 100 point. It's 100 question written test, and you have to have 80 to pass. And so I got a 98. It's okay. It falls in line with my other 101 and 103, which was also a 99 and a 98. So I'm still doing good. I still feel confident that I'm doing stuff. I was super grateful for um, the opportunity to be able to sail a bigger boat. That was the biggest vessel I've ever been on to sail, and it definitely want more of it to get comfortable. They my instructor said it best, and he's awesome, and I can't wait to get back on the water with him for something. But I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, is there anything really I need to work on going into the next couple iterations and getting ready for the next kind of courses?" And he's like, "You just need time on task. You just need to be able to spend the time working through your skill set and working through your processes so you can refine them." So he's not wrong. It's definitely sailing's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it. And for me, I really take that to heart, where I just need to spend time being intentional on my time on the water and focusing on what what I need to work on. The I know at the end of the weekend, we're taking the boat back into the marina, and I asked, "Hey, do you want me to park this thing, or do you want one of the others to park it?" And my instructor was like, "You can do it. It's okay. We just need to get it done." I said, "Okay." So I was able to. I turned a little late to get into the slip, but it actually worked out in our favor because our dock was a starboard side dock, and this boat has starboard prop walk. So when I got in, it was a little angled, kind of getting the bow in towards the dock box, and I like kept her nice and easy. There's a slow as pro, tucked her in, and then let kind of just put in a little idle, reverse idle for a little bit just to get that prop walk to kick over, and just slid the boat right in and kissed the dock, and it was like magnifique. So I felt pretty good because docking is it's one of those things where if you don't do it enough or you don't practice it, it's and also it's probably where the most kind of risk of damage happens, especially with other boats around um, and running into the dock and that side because that kind of thing is concerned. That it was a good like little exclamation point on the course for me, that I was like, oh, okay. Not that I didn't. I had a docker a few times throughout the weekend, and it's just anytime you can nail a good docking, it feels good. It feels really good. It's like parallel parking. You nail it the first time, it's always nice. So um, yeah, great experience overall. Was able to provide some good feedback for the instructor too, to help him with the situations with having members or students that may have not been as sharp on their skills or maybe haven't sailed in a while, and he thought that was a great, my recommendations were a great idea. So I'm hoping that he becomes, better, stronger, faster as an instructor, and I become better, stronger, faster as a sailor, and we move forward. So it was good. Um, that weekend put me for we're up to like 20 23 days on the water now. So it's pretty good. 23, we're crawling, creeping to the 90 I need to be able to start thinking about trying to get that restricted OUPV license. Um, well, it'll get there eventually. I sailed for, including the 104 course, I sailed 5 days last week. So it was a long week. I sailed the night right before on a do 430. She a 34 or 36? Has to be a 36. A do 436. So I sailed with the team on a do 436 the night before. Jumped right onto a Bavaria 42 for the weekend. And then earlier in the week, I think we did a quick Catalina 30 burner for the day. Oh, and then like the week before, we took out, me and a couple of the coworkers, we took out a J80. Her name's Fly. So definitely got to put on the Fowley gear for that one because there's a lot of splash. But that was a good run. We went around Treasure Island and under the Bay Bridge and came back again. And she's fast and super fun. And so don't have a lot of tiller helm experience, but one of my coworkers, he was able to take her out and it was super fun. So yeah, a lot of good sailing the last couple of weeks. I didn't catch any footage of the 104. I was really focused on making sure that it was more about paying attention to the course and paying attention to the content and helping, the instructor out, especially after was the other two that needed a little bit more of a brush up, making sure that we accomplished what we set out to do. So um, we were successful. Everyone passed. There was also consequently another 104 that went out that weekend that I obviously wasn't part of, but the two students that were on that one uh, did not pass. One of them needs to do a little bit more docking, and the other one needs to take the written test because he had to leave a little early and was unable to do the written. So um, not too bad, but it was just nice to see like, oh, okay, we had three pass on this test, and then the other one had two students, and they still need some work to do. So out of all the students, I was able to get my stuff done. So that's cool. This weekend is the first weekend that I get to take out some friends and family. I've been doing this now for 3 months. Definitely have tried to sell myself out there and saying like, "Hey, I want to take you guys out. I want to take people out on the water. I want the sailing days. I want to get people more excited about sailing too." And this weekend it will be the first time that I get to take out some my kids and friends and family, and then we're also going out next weekend too. But I'm spending my time this week preparing for ensuring that I I'm able to instruct and or coach and or provide information to my crew so that we have a successful weekend. I was telling the lady friend here that I was like, not that I'm nervous, but it was like, man, I'm trying to prepare, and she's like, she misperceived it, I guess, as like nervousness. Like, man, your nervousness is causing me to be anxious. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not anxious. I'm not trying to cause you angst. It's not the intention. The intention is more that I'm trying to make sure I go through all of my processes to ensure that I can communicate effectively to the people on board when I need something done, and or making sure that like I'm doing everything that is necessary to keep them safe. And not that like we're gonna have scary weather this weekend or scary like a problem, but in the event that something happens, I need to make sure that I stay calm, cool, and collected and can prepare for the potential, not reality, but the potential that something could happen. And I want to just make sure that I keep everyone's safety in mind and make sure that I keep everyone's uh, entertainment in mind and make sure they have a good time. I can't allow myself to get frustrated because someone doesn't know something. This is the first time they've ever been on a sailboat. This is the first time that anybody's actually had to work a boat. Um, I take that back. I know that all of these individuals have done like sunset cruises in Hawaii because I've been with them on those sunset cruises, but someone else is driving the boat. They're just sitting there for the ride, and this is something that will require them to have to engage a little bit more. So I'm not nervous. I'm confident that we will have a good time, but I'm more focused on ensuring that I can coach. This is like a dry run for me from an instruction perspective. Is if I elect to continue down this path with teaching, which is my intention, and getting my captain's license, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, is that I need to come up with a good methodology on how I can convey information and how I can coach people to become adequate sailors. Now, am I expecting them to be the best? No way. That's not the case. But I need to be able to have a good um, curriculum that and a good process that I can go through when I'm talking about how to handle a boat to make sure that I check all the bases. And when I take people out, I want to make sure that I'm communicating to them, about what expectations are and when we're underway, what they're going to expect. So get to do a dry run this weekend. It's going to be fun. The kids are going to be on the boat. We're all going to have a good time. But I have to do a little bit more due diligence just to prepare for uh, their experience, seeing as this is the first time that my partner has ever seen me sail and ever been on a sailboat with me. uh, I want to make sure that she has a good experience because I want her to continue to do this. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, I got to make sure the weather's good. The weather should be good, but I think we're good on the weather. I think we're good on the wind. I think we're gonna have a good time. I think I couldn't have picked a better weekend, but it's still just one of those things where you just don't know until it happens, and you hope that they fall in love with the passion like I have, and want to continue to do it. I don't think I have to worry too much about seasickness. We're in the bay; it's not too bad, or motion sickness. But I am cognizant to make sure that we get to see some stuff, we get to have some good sailing, we have fun, and everyone stays safe. So, nah, no pressure. I think it'll be fine though. We'll have fun. Um, Work's been going good. It's been a busy week this week. I'm the boat I normally stay on and is still hauled out and getting work done. So this is why we've been boat hopping and why I'm on Phoenix tonight. I'm hoping in the next week or so the boat gets back in the water and I can kind of get back to some creature comforts that that boat offers that I don't always get when I'm sleeping on other boats. So it's good. Other than that, uh, um, I don't really have anything else. No, we're in the midst of summer, so kids out doing the summer thing and having fun. He just got his orange belt in karate, which is really cool. I'm really proud of him for that. Um, I'm so my partner and I we're divorcees, and so the idea of like getting married like isn't really like in the cards. It's not really something that we're like trying to do, but we definitely are in a position in our relationship where I think we're like, okay, yeah, we're good, like committing to each other and for ourselves. So that's been it's been a big moment because neither one of us thought we'd kind of ever get to that point again where we're feeling that deeply, and um we're there. So it's been a great thing to have her by my side and support me through some of these things. It's not always easy being away, because I do spend a fair amount of time down here for work, and to mitigate the amount of time I have to spend in the car and commuting. But she's been incredible, and I can't be more appreciative of her and her support, because the long-term goal out of all this is that I can be able to feel comfortable and make a good cash flow being on the water and teaching people, but even more so to be able to be on the water and have us go explore and see things, and travel. So having us be able to do that and be confident in our skills to be on the water is all part of the exercise here. It's a big, big reason as to why I'm doing this. And so I'm excited to get her finally on the water. I'm excited for her to see it in action. I'm excited for her to try it, and I know she'll do a great job at it. She's just got that like inherent athletic ability that she can, put in the effort and put in a little elbow grease and get shit done. So I'm excited to have that happen, because it kind of helps us take the next few chapters that we're planning on accomplishing and really put some good effort to it. So yeah, it's we're going. We're heading down the path, and the 104 is a good benchmark that also allows me to apply for my IPC. So if I was going to go try to charter in the Med, I can do that effectively. So that was a big benchmark that I just going to have it like as part of like I have to have my passport. I got to get my IPC. I got to do all that stuff so I can have it just on hand. So if and when we're ready. Um, Again, a lot of pressure, and not pressure, but a lot of responsibility as to being a skipper when it comes to the people that are on your boat, and I'm willing to take the task on. Um, I just need the experience and exposure, and it's good to do it with my friends and family, because they'll be a little bit more forgiving, but also like be probably my hardest critics, which I need. I'll take the feedback so that I can become better for them and for anybody else who I get on the water with. So, well, that's it. I'm gonna finish this shitty beer and figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the evening. It's been a long week. Tomorrow is my Friday, and then I'm spending one of my 2 weekend days getting back on the water again before I gotta hit it again next week. So, thanks for watching. Salud, and we will see you all next time. Ciao.